Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And sincere shalom to 144,000 and 1/3. Now, things are heating up. You got the Houthis pretty much threatening to shut down the street, another street where the Red Sea is, which about 6 million barrels of oil flows through there a day, which will just be another disruption, which is going to affect, Japan, Southeast Asia. So guess what? Woe to the Asia, okay? But that's not the main point, the main topic. But since I brought it up, let's see if I can find that. Let's get 2nd Esdras, 16th chapter from the top, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, which is it's talking about the USA, Mystery Babylon, the whore that rideth upon the beast, which is United States of America. And Asia. Asia is not just, Japan. Asia would be Europe, Europe in the scriptures, like the Italy and Turkey and all that. That was called Asia, okay? So in Asia, that means Germany, all right, Spain, Portugal, Russia, of course, Southeast Asia, West Asia, what we call today the Middle East, okay? Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So guess what? We start to see it build up. And it's going to get way worse than some global oil disruptions, because all the oil is going to do is increase the price. It's not going to bring about a full-blown collapse. But just wait. The Most High Yahweh got something nasty. All right? Now let's get Hebrews. The 11th chapter and verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. Who is him? Yahweh. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, which is his name is Yahweh. He is Yahweh. And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you have to have faith. If you don't have faith, you're not a part of the elect. Just the truth. All right. If you don't got the name Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, you're not a part of the elect. You don't have the Rakakwadash, you're not a part of the elect. It's impossible. Because that ties into the faith. And we're going to need faith to have the truth, and we're going to need faith to survive what's coming. So let's start from the top of Ecclesiasticus 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Yeah, wickedness. All right. Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away. All right, diligently seek Yahweh, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. There you go. Jacob's trouble. This is the end of Esau, the beginning of Jacob. And the elect, some of the elect going to be put to death. Some of the elect is going to turn up. But ultimately, the majority, the overwhelming majority, the elect is going to survive Jacob's trouble. All right. Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. What is that? Could be negative, could be positive, right? You get ailment, like Apostle Paul had a thorn in his side, right? Whatever, bad things that happen to you, the chastisement of Yahweh. And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Yeah, the Israelites as a whole have been in a lower state, since 1492, if you want to, a key date, when Christopher Columbus, if you will, came over here and did his nasty works to the northern kingdom. Then you had the small hats and the rest of these devils, the Dutch, British, French, go around getting Jake out of what we call today Europe, the quote unquote Moors, and then going through West Africa, Central Africa, and whatnot, getting Jake's the Southern Kingdom. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So guess what? The elect are going to be acceptable men to survive this coming collapse of civilization. Think about it. We're finna enter a time way worse than anything even like King David went through. Anything that Yahweh Shai went through. We're gonna go through some era, eon, all right, of the worst thing humanity has ever seen. Jacob's trouble. So you know the Most High Yahweh is gonna have to turn us up, and our faith is gonna be on a super high level. Okay, we're in some evolving, things evolve. We're gonna be the elect is gonna be on a higher level than what Yahweh Shai was, man. The elect is gonna be turned up more than Yahweh Shai. Put it like that. All right. Since I said that, let me read that. Let me read that. Before I get Isaiah 41, let's get that. This is John 14:12. As you can see, is the red letter, which what is written in red is going into Yahweh Shai. Okay. So St. John 14:12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, thy works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. There you go. All right. Because Esau going to come with that pain. The Most High Yahweh has turned up these devils. All right. Some low down, dirty base men is turned up. So you think the Most High Yahweh can't turn up his elect? Even just regular Israelites, man. You think the Most High Yahweh can't turn up a regular non-elect Israelite, but he'll turn up the bases of men? How does that make sense? Let's get Isaiah 41 and verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth, is going into spiritual power. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. So that's ultimately going to the elect. Okay, bringing in the pain, max pain, to the nations. And guess what? These 2/3, if you will, is gonna get some get back on these devils too. What does it say in Isaiah 19? Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Right? That represents all the Judites, not just the elect. But of course, that don't mean they gonna get beamed up in the chariot and saved from the nuclear destruction. All right, but Jake ain't put it like this. Jake is not gonna go out bad like the rest of these heathen are gonna go out way worse than the basis Israelite. You understand? Let's get Isaiah 65 and 13. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat. Who are the servants? The prophets. Therefore, thus said Yahweh thy power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Who is that ye? The non-elect. But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So guess what? The elect that's gonna make it, that's destined to make it through Jacob's trouble, they ain't finna be starving to death, bugging out, worried about what. No, the elect gonna be rejoicing. The elect ain't gonna be like, oh, I hope I get this and that. Nah, man. The elect gonna be taken care of. Let's get this. This is Second Esdras, the second chapter, and verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahweh. There you go. So the elect gonna be good in Jacob's trouble. They're gonna be able to make it through. The ones that are destined to make it through. So some of the elect gonna get beheaded, all right, for not taking an MOTB. But the elect is not gonna be like the elect is gonna know they are the elect. All right, so it's gonna be a different spirit on the earth when that comes to pass. So let's get Amos. Let's see. Amos, the third chapter, and verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, which is what? The MOTB is the C-HIP, right? The nuclear destruction, who Babylon the Great is, who the Israelites are, who the Edomites are, so on and so forth. Those are the secrets. Okay, now let's end this off in Jeremiah. I'm ending this off in Jeremiah, the 28th chapter. And Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophets which prophesieth peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh have truly sent him. There you go. So if you say something, and then it happens, all right, you're a prophet. All right. That's what it means to prophesy, to say something that happens before it happens. And guess what? Esdras, King David, Solomon, Yahushai, Moses, they saw the end. They saw parts of the end. I believe Moses saw a good chunk of the end. All right. And Esdras makes mention of that. Yahushai, he knows pretty much everything that's going to happen besides what? When he comes back. Okay. So guess what? All this has been predestined. And guess what? Babylon the Great is predestined for destruction. And this place is getting chanted down. These elites, they know, they see it. But they're puffed up with pride, so they're going to keep going at it. So with that, shalom.